Right, he is a three-time AL Manager of the Year. We have a pleasure to have him on our show. It is manager Buck Showalter of the Baltimore Orioles. Thanks for coming on, Buck. How are you doing this afternoon?
Good. How are you? A little cooler weather here.
Very nice outside. I think it was from all the rain we had last night because everybody was freaking out in Sarasota. I think they were all thinking a monsoon was coming. But, yeah, a great day for playing baseball, of course. You did have a split squad game today, I'm assuming?
No. We had we are split because a lot of our players at the World Baseball Classic. It's kind of crazy spring because we're down here so much longer because of early preparation for the World Baseball Classic, and we're missing 7 or 8 players that are currently representing their country. So it's a different look.
And that's something I'm glad that you brought up because myself and my co-host Eric Wilson, we had a debate about this on our Sunday show at J-Dubs here in Sarasota about the WBC. Now, I know you got a lot of big-name players that are out there right now. You got Adam Jones out there. You got Manny Machado out there, too, as well. So I like the WBC, but the way I think they have the placement of it, I don't think they should have it right before this season. Eric's okay with it. Now, Buck, I kind of wanted your opinion on do you think they should have the WBC right before the whole spring training, in the middle of spring training and right before the season starts, because you have a lot of big name players that are playing in this tournament now. They could be susceptible to injury. Now, do you think they should have it at this time of year, or maybe push it back to later in the year, maybe during the time of the fall where teams aren't in the playoff run?
Well, first of all, people a lot smarter than us are deciding if it's something that's growing our game globally, and that's very important. I found that try to keep in mind we are not on this earth alone, and there's other people that can play this game very well. These are the best players the world has to offer in the major leagues here. We're lucky that the United States is considered to have the best baseball league in the world. But personally, it does create some challenges for us. It's one of those things. A lot of people complain about something, but they don't have a solution. You could do it during the All-Star break when everybody's at their peak. You'd have to do it in a very condensed form and shut down the season for a couple of weeks. Doing it at the end of the season doesn't make any sense because everybody's arms. The biggest issue with it is trying to get people to pitch and not put them in harm's way. I'm biased. I'm here to do what's best for the Baltimore Orioles in our city. And I do look at things through biased glasses, but I do understand what they're trying to accomplish with our game, and it seems to be popular. It does hurt the Caribbean World Series because a lot of those players in Venezuela and Dominican and Mexico don't play in the Caribbean World Series when they have the World Baseball Classic. So there's a give and take here, and people have put a lot of thought into this, and it's not perfect. It gets better every time we do it, but they think that we're getting a real good return from it. I can see how they might think that way.
Awesome.
Mr. Showalter, this is Eric Wilson. And again, thank you so much
Hi,
Hi, how are you doing?
Good.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Whole Nother Level. So speaking of, looking through biased glasses, I have to ask you, what are your expectations going into this year? You guys went almost 90 wins, 89 and 73. You tied for second in your division. Unfortunately, you lost to the Blue Jays in the ALWS. So I just wanted to know what your outlook was for this season.
Well, my outlook is to try to be as good as we're capable of being. That may sound like a stock answer, but really, as you go into spring, there's a lot of things out of your control. The number one thing you'd like to be assured of is the health of your players, because unlike a lot of we have 3 teams in our division whose payroll is a lot more than ours, so we have to try to stay healthy and make sure we have a good farm system coming. But the thing that we want to accomplish is that we're going to reach our level, that we're going to be as good as we're capable of being. And that's what the goal is down here and where it takes us. I'm not one of those guys that has to know about something before it happens. We live in a society today that wants to know about something before it happens. Everybody likes predicting, the Sweet 16, 64 teams, who's going to win, who's not. I'm really okay with finding out when it happens. And so I have a lot of confidence with the people we're surrounding ourselves with that we will seek our level, and I think it might be pretty good.
One question I think a lot of our viewers are wondering about is Chris Tillman coming off a shoulder injury from last year and recently had a setback. How is Chris? How's he doing? How bad is it? Is he you expect him back anytime soon, or maybe in the later half of the year?
Well, there's some unknown right now. I think he's felt a lot better the last 2 days each day, and we're trying to get our arms around the next steps that we're going to take to get him back on the field. It's going to be when and not if. But we feel like structurally he's in pretty good shape. But, there's always wear and tear on pitchers. The good Lord didn't intend you to put your arm over your head and jerk it down violently 100 times every day. That's why we walk around with our hands, our arms dangling, and the reason why softball pitchers don't get sore arms. So, I'd say 30, 35 starts, they may feel good maybe 5 of those times. They pitch through a lot of things. So we're trying to decide that, and just because something's delayed doesn't mean it gets denied. So we're trying to be smart about this. It's a long season.
I like your analogy there. Something that just because it's delayed doesn't mean it's denied. I think we might have to borrow that phrase from you. One last thing I do want to ask you. We've heard a lot of good things about Chris Lee, Jason Aguino, and I hope I pronounced that correctly, and Gabrielle Noah.
You got 2 beauties there, Aquino and Noah. That's to pronounce those pretty close to right. I'm impressed.
Well, thank you. Can we expect one of these guys to kind of maybe come into the rotation and not necessarily be a filler for Tillman, but just be an added bonus to your pitching rotation?
Well, we got some good lucky guys, some guys that could ambush some other teams if they don't give them the credit needed. I'm fine with our depth and who might have to pick up that slack. You mentioned Aquino and Noah. You add Mike Wright and Tyler Wilson and Chris Lee's got a chance to be one of those guys. And we've got a couple other guys we're looking at. But, obviously we'd like to have Chris with his track record going into the last year of his contract. And I know it's bothering him not to be able to be out there, but I feel comfortable with the depth that we have there.
Awesome. Now, Buck, I know before we get you out of here, March Madness is upon us. Do you pay attention all to bracketology?
Who are you going with?
I am a Duke Blue Devils fan all the way. I've been watching them since.
Step out there. Really step out there. Really
no, hold on, Buck. Now,
that was a tough one.
I've been watching them since I was.
Sleeper? Who's your sleeper? Who's your under the radar team?
My sleeper for this year, and a lot of people are going to be probably clawing at me right now, and I have 2. My first one is going to be Wichita State, and my other one is going to be, I do like Florida State.
He went there.
I know, I did. I'm a Seminole fan by heart.
Don't say that too loud.
So do you guys do anything in the clubhouse? Do you guys have any kind of bracketology competition with you guys?
Guys, we're not allowed to do any betting in a clubhouse. You know that.
Exactly.
We're not allowed to.
What is wrong with you?
There's no betting going on.
No.
There's one across the hall. We do it for tokens. We're not allowed to exchange.
So I got to ask you, who you taking in the tournament?
Oh, I got just one sleeper team, Southern Methodist. I think I love the team. My daughter went to law school there and graduated, and watching them, they've only had 6 or 7 scholarship players the whole year. I'm a season ticket holder. Some of the most fun I had was watching them and the way they play as a team. It's a team that's really easy to pull for. Larry Brown was there, and now they're just the epitome of a team. They're all 6'5", 6'6". They get in foul trouble, they lose. They play the game right. They play defense. They're well coached. They're smart. They don't aggravate you watching them play. And it's a team that was really fun to pull for. And they beat Cincinnati and Memphis to get to. They're 30-14, and they end up with a 6th seed. Go figure.
Yeah. Now let me ask you a question. Who do you want more? Do you want Providence or do you want USC in that first round? Because we're going to find out here.
It doesn't matter.
Don't matter? Okay.
It doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter as far as, it's going to be a tough game to get to this point. But the problem is, SMU's playing with house money because everybody threw them underneath the bus, and they got a real attitude. I would not want to play them.
No, I agree. For me, because I'm from the Pennsylvania area, I'm going to go, unlike most people, unless you're a fan, I'm saying Nova is going to repeat this year, even though the great Al Bushman over here.
What does that stand for, Nova? Is that like Nova Scotia?
Villanova, the Villanova Wildcats.
Oh, Villanova.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Gotcha.
But my sleeper actually is Vermont. Seated at 13, I really think they're going to go deep.
That's a real sleeper. That's
yeah.
like dead asleep.
I think they're going to go deep. I think they'll make it to the Elite Eight. I think they've got something definitely to prove.
Really?
I do.
That'd be a great story.
I do.
Now, Buck, he's lost a lot of money to me during the football season for fantasy and betting on weird bets for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Are y'all allowed to bet in your profession like that?
It's a gentleman's
It's
bet.
a gentleman's kind of deal. We're allowed to do that.
That's why we do tokens here.
There you go.
That's why we do tokens.
There you go.
Well, Buck, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on our show. We do greatly appreciate it. And I'm actually a Tampa Bay Rays fan, so I hope you guys do well, but not too well over my Rays. But
don't worry about it. You'll beat them.
Good. They're going to be much improved this year. I like their club. I like the way I like their manager. And some of the additions they made, they're going to be a real challenge for us.
Yeah, but they're not beating the Orioles this year. That's okay. You don't have to worry about them. Take care.
Tell you what, don't underestimate the starting pitcher. The return of Cobb is huge for them.
Thank you, Buck. Thank you very much for saying that. I appreciate that. Have a good one, Buck. Thank you. Have a great season.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys. You take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.